The true thing that we have is what we are as people. In the very beginning, God gave us a great spirit. He gave us to understand the mother, to take care of the mother. But for some reason, these tragic things happened. And the way we are told, there will be people who are going to abuse the gift that God gave every one of us. There would be our relatives that would abuse those gifts. But in the end, the people that were given the gift to take care of the mother will rise. But it would take all this pain and all this struggle and to understand the concept of what life is and what spirit is. Well, brothers and sisters, those foundations before us with all the tragedies of our people has been done. Now we live in the present. That present is to make the decisions for our children and the ones yet to be born. And that's a very crucial decision to make, because that brings commitment to what God given this world, the spirit of who we are. To journey on this road, it's a difficult one, because there's so many temptations, so many things can derail us from what we are. So the assimilation process, which we know still exists, we must pull the rein and stop. And stop and become what we are and what God gave us, so that we can correct what has been done. And believe me, those people that have done this have come to realize now there's a door of opportunity for us to do what is right and to lead in the way God has told us to lead. But those principles must be brought back to our children. And it starts with each and every one of us, so that those yet to be born will be given that opportunity. So for the mounds, of all the mounds that God created that is holy, are being under attack. Because if those places are destroyed, no matter if we're brown and no matter if we speak our language, we lost. And that's very scary at this point in time for the future. As I tell people across this country, you must go back to your holy places. You must go back and occupy those places, because that is where God has touched the world for us. And if we continue to stay away and live in fear and not go back, then all is going to be lost. So people, my relatives, this is a very important day. God has blessed the seed so that our children can be given the right direction by us, for those of us who have lived and seen the good and bad. And we must make that decision by commitment. One voice, one people is what God has seen the world to be in the very beginning. But it is us human beings who have destroyed that. But for Native people in this country, many people around the world are watching what's happening here in America. So people, being the oldest of, or the youngest of being colonized, we're the oldest in the ways, and we must remember that. So bringing us to this place where so many people have suffered, and bringing us to the body of water, which is the giver of life, which has its own life, and the wind, and the morning sun. This is a very powerful day, and we must understand that as we breathe, and breathe in the spirit that God has given us. Right here today, we all become disciples to work on healing, to work on change, to work to revive that spirit that God gave us. So in Oak Flats, for some reason, 479 tribes recognized by the federal government are in unity to fight this land exchange from John McCain, which in this bill takes away your voice, takes away your religious belief, takes away your ceremony. Right now, there's an invisible evil that's happening. We must wake up from that instincts that God has given us, the Creator, to know that we can see the unseen. Because if this bill remains, it affects your reservation, it affects your religion, it affects your voice. So we must unify in one, because this is an avenue for us to make changes in the future, not only in our government, but in the way we live, in the way we are. So people, thank you for those who've worked really hard to bring us here and bring the attention here. Because what has happened here is no different of what's happening anywhere on our land. So we must come back to where God has blessed the world for us so that we can receive the blessing gift of the future. So many of you have done so many great things. So many of you have suffered. So many of you have worked very hard. So many of you have brought love together. So we are calling on those spiritual warriors to help us lead to the future for our children and those yet to be born. At one point, it was an Apache fight. Then it became a Native American fight. Then it became a state of Arizona fight. Then it became a United States fight. What really saddens me today, it has now become a world fight. Because I got people, indigenous people from other countries coming here to America to witness what the United States has done on this bill to give a holy site away to a foreign company. And what they are excited about is that the Native Americans in the United States are rising against foreign companies that have destroyed their lands, their people. So people, indigenous people around the world are watching us. So I ask that we stand in the humble way of God has touched us and taught us spiritually to lead by our words, our songs, our ways, so that the spirits, which is the buffer from heaven to earth, will join us to make this change. So let's call on them which we have called on in the mountains, that the spirits that God created for us, we need you. We need you in this fight so that we can save all that's left. So with that, we're going to finish with one song that we bring to you, to join with you, to be with you spiritually, and to change the rest of the world, because people, we must stand. Akia, thank you for giving us this opportunity. You're welcome to dance. It's the last song.